Smith Jr., the fitness specialist. The most common question that I get from people is, what motivated me to make the change in my life? Simply the day that my father gave me the reality check chat. And what led my father to giving me the reality check chat is because he found me crying in my bed one night because he had made fun of me. I was at a pool party and I was in front of this little girl that I had this huge crush on. Her name was Alicia. I was 7 at the time and she was about 11 years old. My family was there, all of her family was there, all of the kids in the neighborhood were there. And just as I jumped to dive into the pool, my father yells out, "Hey, look at the big whale that's getting ready to land in the water." And I remember hitting the water, not wanting to come up because I was so embarrassed. And as I was crying in my bed, my dad walks by my bedroom and he hears me and he says, "What are you crying about?" He was completely oblivious to the fact to what he had done. "You called me fat in front of all of those people." And my dad said, "But you are fat." And that stung even more. You know, as growing up, my mom had always pampered me and said, "Oh, it's just baby fat. Oh, it's going to go away once you get older. Oh, you're not fat, you're just big bone." And she would always comfort me. And she would allow me to live in denial and simply go along with it. And that was the first time that my father had really just stopped and checked me and said, "You're fat." And as I looked at him, and I began to cry more because he wasn't sympathizing with me, he said, "I know you're fat, and you know you're fat." And my father was overweight himself, and he said, "Look at my stomach, I'm fat also." But he came back and said, "When I bring you those cheeseburgers and donuts and pastrami sandwiches, you don't start crying and say, 'No, you won't eat it because you're fat.' You sit there and eat it up." And I said, but you give them to me. You don't have to eat it." He put the ownership right back on me. And as my father began to walk out of the room, he simply said, "Being fat is nothing to cry about." He said, "You can do something about that." And he's like, "If there's something I want you to remember this for the rest of your life. Change the things you can and pray to God to help you deal with the things that you can't." And from that point on, I began looking at life a lot different. I was no longer the victim, but I was someone that can go out there and make change happen. It placed me in a position to take responsibility for my actions. And in no way am I saying that it immediately sunk in and I lost the weight. It didn't. It took years for that to actually kick in to make it work. But it has always been the backbone or the undertone to everything I do. And this is what I stress to my clients. I'm not going to be their miracle. I am not going to be their quick fix. I am their guide. I am their guide to help them through the process of making a change. I do not make the change for them. I cannot assume that responsibility. I empower people. I empower people by giving them the tools they need to become the person that they want to be. That's what I strive for. That's who I am. That's the fitness specialist.